Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Foliage. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So guys, as promised in my last video, I said that I'm going to do an update on the vertical garden, as in how to water the vertical garden, and also I'm going to show you how I'm trimming the collies from my vertical garden so that I can transfer them to individual pots. So guys, let's start the video. Now over here I have my watering can. Now I'll also show you how I tend to use fertilizers on the vertical garden as well. Now guys, the water is slightly green because it's pond water, but over here I'm using my compost tea. As I said, I always tend to use liquid fertilizer. So this is my liquid gold, the compost tea that I'll be adding in this watering can. So as I've mentioned this earlier as well, please dilute your compost tea in water. Do not use it in concentrated form, because if you're going to use it directly onto the plants, then the plants will get burnt, the roots will get burnt. So always dilute it in water and then provide it to your plants. So now guys, moving to the vertical garden, now I'm going to show you how I water my vertical garden. Now guys, it's very simple. You start with the topmost layer of the vertical garden. You start watering the first pot and you'll notice what happens next. Now the moment the first pot starts getting filled with water, it will immediately start releasing the water, meaning the water will start passing through the drain hole. From the first pot, it will reach to the second pot, and from the second pot, it will reach to the third pot. In this way, your entire column, your entire row tends to get watered. So this is the best thing what I like about vertical garden, because it tends to make your life much easy, especially when it comes to watering. So basically you just water the first pot, and then as you keep watering it, the excess water starts to fall on the second row, and then from second to the third row. So it's pretty simple. As you can see over here, the second pot is also completely getting watered, at the same time the third one as well. So as discussed in the last video, as I said, at times I take out the entire individual coleus plant and then plant it in individual pots, but at times I just do a stem cutting. Now that's what I'm going to do over here, because this stem was slightly longer, so I'm going to do a stem cutting. So with this, what's going to happen is the remaining stem that is there in the pot will start to push out a lot of new leaves, and the new plant that is going to grow will be much more bushy. So you'll have a very bushy coleus plant. So I'll do the same with this guy as well. Now I have two cuttings. I will try and get some more of the cuttings. Usually whenever I tend to see any of the coleus that starts to stretch, now this usually happens when you put a new stem, because it's just one stem, or at times when they do not receive a lot of light, they usually tend to get stretched a little bit, but there is nothing to be worried. All you have to do is just do a stem cutting, and the leftover part will start getting much more bushy. Now this is also called as pinching. A lot of people call it as pinching the head of the coleus plant in order to get much more bushy and fuller form of coleus plant. So this is the same technique here. What I'm doing is just cutting off the stems or the upper portion of the coleus, and then the remaining part will generate a lot of more bushy leaves. Now guys, over here I have a couple of my cuttings that are already ready. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I usually tend to do. Now guys, over here I have my pot. Now these were the previous cuttings that I had taken, the same way how I just showed you. So this is how they look right now in the pot. So now I will go ahead and add in these cuttings that I've recently cut. So in this way, what happens is you tend to get another pot that is completely bushy with your coleus plants, and in no time this will also tend to grow huge. So this works out really well if you want to multiply, or if you want to give someone a gift or something like that, because usually what happens is we tend to either take flowers or we give flower bouquets, and guys, how long does those flower bouquets last? Maybe 4 or 5 days, and later on they turn into trash. Or probably a person might just put them in a flower vase and keep them alive for a few days, but again at the end of the day you just throw it out. But this is something, is going to be like a memorable gift, because to whoever you tend to give this, it is going to grow in their place. It is not going to die off, and it is so simple to make these arrangements. All you need to do is collect some cuttings, put them together, and you can see this looks absolutely beautiful. It looks exactly like a flower bouquet, and in fact this is going to last for years to come. So it's always also a piece of memory that is going to be with the person that you give this to. So probably you can share it with your friends, family, relatives, neighbors, or you can give it to any plant lover as well, because trust me, once you grow a coleus plant, you are going to end up with a lot of these cuttings. So it's always better to spread. Another best thing is probably when you gift it to someone else, and when that person also starts doing the cuttings, then that person can gift it to someone else. So in this way you can see the spread of plants. You can spread plants around and everyone can have the joy of keeping Colliers plants. So guys, it's very simple and it's very easy. It just takes hardly a couple of minutes to set this arrangement up. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe.